Hey, yo, Krillin, you ready?
But this is going to change how you view, how you create, how you mark your charts up, how you win, how you lose in the market from these simple logical steps that no one's talking about. I have been looking through YouTube. It's a lot of selling products and services, a lot of empty videos with a lot of pizzazz, a lot of clickbait out there that's just not giving you what you need to be a successful trader. And I want you to come along with me. I want you to be successful. I don't have a course to sell you. I don't have these dreams and indicated aspirations to sell you. All I'm here to do is give you the logic behind why I do what I do when I trade and why it's been successful for me, and just give you that foundation so you can build upon that. Um, this channel is, again, not built for people to follow me and trade like me. That's never going to make you successful. Trust me, after years of figuring it out or trying to figure it out or trying to figure out the strategy, you have to create your own trading plan. You have to be your own trader. I've said it in other videos. We can be in these teams and in these groups all we want to, but if you, as that trader, do not understand those fundamental key points, you're never going to be successful to the level that you want to be. Um, Buying signals is awesome. Buying in these magical indicators are awesome. The MLMs, whatever. For some people, they're awesome, right? But I'm really in the space to make money from trading and to help others make space from money from trading. So this is what this video is about, and I really encourage you just to pay attention. Just give me a few minutes of your time so we can get through this, you'll definitely see the value in it. All right, let's get back to the charts real quick. Um, so essentially, here we are on the APY, and we are here manipulating the charts right now. So let me make sure that it's going. All right, so we're here manipulating the charts. So right here, we've already, and this is based off of our last video, we've already identified the trend, right? And how do we do that? I'm gonna backtrack a little bit for guys. Matter of fact, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit, but if you want to know what I'm doing, how I'm identifying the trend, go see that video. Um, but we've identified the trend by going to our H1 chart. Um, it is in a downtrend at this point, or wasn't. So this is the news. This is Friday, uh, September 1st, 2023. We see a lot of movement early in it. It's 7:46 Pacific Standard Time, so that means it's 10:46 Eastern Standard Time. So we see a lot of movement in the market. There's been a lot of move, a lot of fluctuation. When I got into this trade initially, we were in a downtrend, but now we have crossed over into the uptrend. And this is, I'm going to get into why and what indications have told me that as well. So H1 is an uptrend now. Let's go to our M15 uptrend, of course. Our M5 is an uptrend. Okay, so how do we identify that? All right, guys. So based upon, I'm going to go back to H1. Based on my previous video, we know we're looking at the CCI. If it is below a negative 100, is a downtrend. If it is above the positive 100, is an uptrend. And wherever the last uh, call was, it's going to correlate that. It's going to continue to go on that trend until we break into another uptrend or downtrend. So what I mean by that is here, all along here, we see that the market came down and broke. This is all downtrend, all downtrend, all downtrend, all downtrend, all downtrend, shot up. This is the next time we broke the positive 100. So now we're in an uptrend. All right. I have to reiterate first and foremost, the higher the time frame, the stronger the trend. The higher the time frame, the stronger the trend. And you guys have to realize that. Um, a lot of traders are just going to say that the market, the daily, a lot more people trade the daily. There's not more volume. That's not what it is, guys. It's not completely what it is. Yes, there's a lot more volume at higher time frames, but that just means that because the trend is high, the trend is at its strongest at that time frame. So if we're looking at an uptrend on the hourly, we know in an hour the market could potentially be up. If you're looking at an uptrend in the daily, we know in the day that the market's going to be up, right? That's where the trend is going. But what is the market doing right now, right? And that's when we drill into these lower time frames. So M15, the market is on an uptrend right now. And then the M5, where we trade at, the market is on an uptrend as well. Now, the point of this video is really to really get guys on the same page as far as how to draw trend lines and how powerful they are when you draw trend lines. Now, if you're looking at the screen right now, this is a live chart. It's moving. You see it's moving, right? We have a lot of upward movement here, big uptrend, right? And this is our trend line. And this trend line is actually very incorrect. This is not a good trend line. And I'll tell you that, and I'll show you in a second why it's not. Okay. So I drew this trend line from this last high before this was drawn before this movement, right? So I drew this from this last high. I touched the top of this candle, and I drew it to the top of this candle at this point. On the next hour or so movement, we see that the market broke through our trend line, came back through our trend line, then broke back through our trend line. So if we zoom in here, right, through our trend line, the market has broken up and through our trend line. It has not respected our trend line. And that's where a lot of new traders get upset and get in trouble. I want to tell you guys right now and then this is wrong. Not do this. This is where we all start drawing trend lines, just thinking everything has to connect and oh, our trend line has to touch the next body. And how do we know what we join? Well, we have to see similarities. No, we're going to break that down today and give you guys the logical way of drawing great trend lines. Then this is going to change you as a trader. So, like I said, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to be bringing more content like this, more logic, more reasons to why, not just, oh, well, it touched this and then it touched that and then the market. No, we're not giving you fluff on this channel. If you want fluff, go to a fluffy channel. This is logical trading with logical responses to our answers, logical responses to our movements in the trade. So at this point, I drew this line to show this trend line just to show you guys. Okay, at that point, the high was right here. The bodies of these previous small candles we see, we just wanted to figure out where we can get into the market. And a lot of traders would get in here and we'll lose. Was we're taking this up, oh, it's going to go up, it's going to come back down. There's no uniformity, there's no nothing in this movement right here, in this space right here. The market's just, where do we get in? Where's our top? Where's our bottom? So where's our support? Where's our resistance? So resistance is clearly, support is clearly here, right? Resistance is clearly up here somewhere, right? So this is not a good trade for us. This is where we lose, and this is where we kick ourselves and say, this is a scam, this is BS, this is a so after 9 minutes of me talking, let's really get into it. All right. So this is the correct trend line. All right. This is our correct trend line right there. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Write this down. Okay. The market came up. So a good trend line is made up of three characteristics. Okay. Listen up. First characteristic is resistance. The trend line has to show some sort of resistance to where the market has come up, tried to break through, and it could not. Second, big candle break, meaning that in order to break through my trend line, the candle has to be a substantial size. All right. So, meaning that uh, it can't be a small, little, tiny candle breaking in between my trend line. That means nothing. That means my trend line is not strong. My trend line is not reliable within the market because the market is not respecting my trend line. Okay. So that's two. And then lastly, it has to show support. So that means it has to show the market coming down to my trend line, hitting my trend line, and then retracing back up, showing that my trend line is support. Okay. Now here, uh, what we're seeing here is exactly that, right? So the market came in, we showed this had a huge candle up, hit this point, we trace back down, right? The next candle hit this point. Let's zoom in actually a little bit closer, right? Came in, hit this point, couldn't go any higher, retrace back, big candle break through the trend line, retrace back for support. So this is our resistance. This is our big candle break. This is our support. And then we see the market continue to flow. All right. So if we're trading this and we have our trend line and we're identifying that, okay, the market is in an uptrend now, right? It's flipped on us. It's reversed. It's not, it's moving and it's changing direction on us, right? So, and we know that from the H1, right? So the H1 just showed us in this hour, this candle, right, that it broke through. So this is the next candle. But this candle actually, as it came up and touched this 21-day EMA, it actually kind of broke through and went to an uptrend. So now we're in an uptrend. Back to our 5 minute. So how do we get into a trade, right? So remember, our trend line is going resistance, big candle break, support. So this trend line is a great trend line. Why? It has all three of our characteristics, and this is what we need to secure ourselves and secure our positions in the market. Again, resistance, big candle break, support. All three are shown there. Now, for the guys, this is the most important for you new traders out there. Please, 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 please. We draw to the wicks, not to the body. It has to be to the wicks. You have to account for where price has been. Do not ignore where price has been, or you will lose. Okay. So you see here, I drew to the body at first, right? So this was our initial trend line. Drew to the body. We hit the top of this. We're like, okay, yeah, this is going to work for us. Traders may look at this and say, okay, yeah, touch this and touch this. We drew to the body. The market. What is this? The market is what? These candles are flowing through this trend line. That's not good. It's not accurate, right? So we want to go to where the wick is. Boom, wick. First wick, second wick. Now, you're like, well, Peter Nadex, what are you talking about? Why are we going to the wick? How do you know which wick to go to? Boom, boom, boom. How do you know where to start your trend line? We're going to get into that right now. Now, the beginning of your trend line, you should start your trend line where 2 points meet. And I mean that where the market has come up. This is the first point, came back down, came back up. So when I have these two, now let me zoom in, let me zoom in, let me zoom in so we can understand it. I'm looking for the last 2 points, meaning that the market has either come down, got to this level, came back, got back to this level, and then dropped out. So this is telling me that the market came to this space, tried to go higher, couldn't, and then drop back out into a downtrend. Even though this is more of a consolidated market, these are our last 2 points. All right, last two consistent price points. So that's showing me strong price point, strong resistance at this price point. From there, I'm going to scroll over. I'm going to hit the first wicks that I see. Now I could have went here. Like I said, we could have went here, right? But that doesn't make sense. If I went here to these wicks, right, to this wick, look what my candle structure is. Doesn't work. I'm cutting through candles. That doesn't work. All right. I want to be here. I'm going to ignore this for right now, and I want to get to the next high on this wick here. All right. So we're going to go here. Boom, boom, boom. We are going to go there. Now you may say, why? Well, this is the next wick. We have to account what price has been. These are more bodies of the candles and smaller candles. I want to see out of an outbreak. I want to get to that next wick here. All right. So from here we see boom, so resistance, pullback, big candle break, consolidation of price, Market came back down to test our trend line, got here, and this is where you want to trade. Okay, this is the area where you want to trade. You're in an uptrend. The market has already shown us that it has power to break through our trend line. We are going to come back and test here. This is where you have to believe in your strategy because this is where you're going to want to put your trade in, right? Behind your trend line that's already proven that it's strong. And we see it here. The market came down. If you get in here on Nadex or anywhere in this price point with Nadex, this is a W. The market came down, tried to break low, couldn't do that. We're behind our trend line. We get in here as it pulls back. We see that it came back up to this price point. All this space right here is for us to win and grow and win. And how do we do that? Simple. We draw a trend line and we waited for the market to test our trend line and we got in at a good price. I already knew this was going to come down to test because and it went exactly to where the bodies of those candles. So the market is trying to come back and test those previous lower highs, and then though it can't sustain that, and the market's pulling up higher. We already know it's an uptrend, so let's get in there and get in. So right here is where we would have got in at, shot up, and it's continuing to go. Right. Um. Now this all can sound convenient and fun, and people would be like, all right, yeah, you can do that. That makes sense. You can do it after the fact and all that good stuff. Well, after the fact, you know what? Let's see if it correlates. See, if we draw a trend line and it'll may correlate to the M5, but live view, you just see me edit this live view for the M15. Look at that. I didn't draw this on the M15, but as you can see, it correlates down. Right? We cut out all this noise, hit the top of that wick. Like I said, we're drawing two wicks because we have to account for where the market has been. And then it breaks through that and it's going out. So this is already showing us. Let's go to the M30. Same thing. Let's go to the H1. I mean, this is all live, guys. Same thing. So we have a trend line here that's breaking down through our formation of our candles. All right. And look, this is beautiful right here. I mean, let's zoom in real quick. This is our trend line we drew on the eight on the M5. We see it come down, correlate, right? You have all this resistance here, all this resistance here, right? All this beautiful resistance. Market's trying to go higher, couldn't go higher, started to retrace, break out, come back up, resistance, then what? Big candle break. So we have two of the three things we're looking for, right? And the market's Yeah, it's on an uptrend. News has pushed it up high. But look, you have resistance, big candle break. Now what we're looking for is what? Support. And we could possibly get that. Let's go back to our M15 for a second. Market's going up higher, right? Broke through again, look, boom. Didn't quite get back to here, came back down, pushed back up. All of this movement was stopped at here, right? Pull back, but we're in an uptrend. So big candle break, right? Even though it didn't maintain this high, but this is where the energy was going. So we have to account for where the market has been, right? So big candle break upside, pull back, still closed on top of our trend line. And that turned into support, another big candle. Now we're starting to get to a point where we're starting to uh, revert, come back, change positions, and the market's on the turn. All right, guys. So this is huge. Let's get back into it real quick. All right. So here we got a lot of choppy candles, and this is where you want to kind of really get into uh, where your market is going to be at. What are you going to do now? At this price point here, you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, Kev, we in the uptrend. Bid and index, we're in the uptrend. What do we do now? How do we get out of this? What do we do? Um, what we're looking for right now is the bottom and the top. So for us, it's harder to find that top on this M5. Let's go to the M15. Let's see if there's anything that correlates. Okay, boom. So the market is starting to correlate with here, right? And if we look to this end over here, we'll see that it's not a coincidence that we have another trend line from a couple of weeks ago, or from a couple of days ago, that I drew, and the market is respecting that trend line. And it has a look, resistance, big candle break, support, 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 big candle break to the downside. And it's not a coincidence that the market is now getting to that price point and looking at it. So let's look at it real quick. Let's zoom in real quick. Sorry, guys. A lot of stuff going on. Maybe I should change the colors and all that good stuff. Okay, so this is where the market is currently at right now. All right. And actually we can again we have to account for the wick. All right. So you have to account for where price has been. And that is right at where we were at last. So if we do this, so that's telling me that this is a support and resistance zone. One second, guys. Sorry, let's go ahead and remove that. So that's telling me this is a support and resistance zone. All right, so let's go ahead and so we're going to get rid of that. Okay, we have our old trend line. This is our old trend line traded, like I said, a couple days ago. We're going to draw our support and resistance zone. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, and we're probably going to, again, we have to account for what price has been. So this is going to be bottom. Okay, so actually, could we have gone a little? See, this is a lot of space here. So let's go here. All right, better. Cool. So we're gonna drag this over, drag this over, drag this over. I just did that live time. I just did that in live time, right? So right now we are in the previous support and resistance zone. And I'm basing my support and resistance zone off of what? The same three principles, right? We have resistance, big candle break into the zone, support, resistance at the top, support, big candle breakout. So we have all three resistance to try to break through, came back down, big candle break through the area. We have all this in the zone, big candle break. So I'm looking at this last price point to be possibly our change in direction. And I'm going to show you guys in the next one what do we look at to secure and get confirmation of that trade so we can enter that trade. So like, comment, subscribe for more. Oh man, this knowledge is impeccable, and I want you guys to win. Um, Now, right now, we're looking at now. If you look at this again, this is on a 15 minute. All right, let's go to our 5 minute. Let's go to our 5 minute. You guys see, I can do this on any time frame because what I'm following the rules, right? I'm following the rules, right? There's the three rules I just specified to you guys, right? We have resistance, right? Market came up, resisted with a big candle broken, and it's been sitting on this price point here. Right? It's just been broke up, sat here, broke up, back up, right? So what I'm looking at under my perception is the market is going to go to at least somewhere in this vicinity if it does get that high, and then it's going to change direction and start to pull back. it's going to start to retrace. There's a difference between retracement and reversals. And again, we're going to get into that in other videos as well. When we talk about Fibonacci and things like that. And those are things I use too when I'm trading Forex, but this is strictly for Nadex. Right now, the market, like I said, the market has jumped out from our last trend line. Can we draw another trend line? Possibly. We can. We can. Let's get into it again. And I know this is a long video, guys. Just bear with me. So again, I'm looking for 2 price points in the market, which is here. All right. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna go from this. What's the last time? I'm gonna go here, and we can potentially go to this here. So this is. Some people may be saying, again, I'm looking at this price point as well. Actually, I like this one a little bit better. And guys, don't be scared to go through the don't be scared to cross through the actual market. You can do it. There's no rules against it. I don't know any trader. All right, so from here you have I'm gonna point here, point here. Let's see how this looks. And the guys, you're not gonna learn this all in one. This is not gonna happen in one second. So just understand this is not gonna happen overnight. You're not gonna learn trend line overnight. It's not gonna be good practice, but you're not gonna learn. Okay, so let's get back to where we are right now. Just do this trend line. I like it. Let's go to the M15 and see if it correlates. Looks good. We're cutting through. Let's see. Boom. Again. So we have support, 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 resistance right here. Right. And then we have hit the wick. So we're looking for possibly, if this is going to continue to be an uptrend, pullback or retracement back to this point and then go back. So what I mean is I'm looking for boom, then possibly boom. All right. That's what I'm looking for when I say that. All right. So if I go back to my M5, all right, let's get that out of here real quick. Let's get that out of here real quick. All right, guys. So if I'm looking at my M5, this is what I'm looking for. I'm in my support resistance zone. The market is showing me I have a nice trend line here. My EMA is going to continue to get higher as this continues to go. So if the EMA gets to my trend line, I know I'm definitely in good shape. Same way it did here, I know I'm in good shape. So the EMA can also act as a support resistance point as well. So we see here the market shot up, this candle shot up, pull back, right? This is getting more into our concept, but we're gonna watch this, see what it does. Like I said, my initial just from looking at this trade, I'm looking at something here. Again, we are in an uptrend, so we do need to. The market does need to pull back for us to get into a trade. But if you're an aggressive trader like I am, and you know the market, know your strategy, you're confident, you can get in up here when we see the market start to hit this resistance zone. All right, guys. So like I said, that we're coming in at 30 minutes. Like I said, guys, like, comment, subscribe for more. I'm going to be dropping shorts. I'm going to be dropping more videos. We're going to be doing some live trading. Um, it's going to be awesome. And we're going to get you guys acclimated, start getting some money in your trading accounts. That's what I'm here for, man. To make this simple, make it easy for you guys, and we're not giving you a bunch of fluff. Logical trading. Why? Why are we drawing trend lines? Why are our trend lines so good? Why are our trades hitting? Anticipation. We're getting into the market at a point where we're highly anticipating what the direction of the market is going to be. I trade 5-minute candles. You only have to be right one time. And with Nadex, you don't have to be right all the time. You can be right within that one time, 80% of the time, because you can jump out.